The Power of Boundaries. As she turns the pages of the book, Sarah realizes that she has been constantly struggling with her relationships. She has always found herself giving too much, sacrificing everything for the sake of her loved ones, and never saying no. But as she reads through How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Yourself by Nicole LePera, a new realization dawns upon her. Boundaries. That's what she's been lacking all along. Nicole explains how boundaries form an essential part of our relationships, how they define and shape them. Boundaries allow us to protect ourselves, enforce our limits, and ultimately nourish our self-care. As Sarah reads through the pages, she finds herself relating to every word that Nicole writes about the power of boundaries. How setting them can be life-changing. Nicole explains how setting boundaries might seem uncomfortable and difficult at first, but it's a crucial step towards healing and growth. With this newfound realization, Sarah feels empowered to start setting boundaries of her own. She starts taking control of her life and relationships. She begins with small steps, like when a friend asks her to do something, and she doesn't want to, she musters the courage to say no. And soon enough, she starts to notice the impact of her newfound courage and power. People treat her with more respect, and her relationships start to feel more authentic and genuine. As Sarah continues to read How to Do the Work, she realizes how her lack of boundaries has affected her life in every aspect. She sees how boundaries are essential for not only self-care and relationships, but also for her professional and personal growth. This part of this book is how Nicole makes it easy to understand the concept of boundaries, and how to apply them in our daily lives. With relatable experiences and concrete advice, Nicole makes it easy for anyone to start setting boundaries and taking control of their lives. Sarah puts down the book, feeling empowered and inspired. She knows there's a long way to go, but today is the beginning of a new journey. A journey towards a healthier, happier, and more fulfilling life. And all it took was the power of boundaries. How self-awareness can transform your life. Samantha has always been a high achiever. She's the top performer in her job, has a great group of friends, and a loving family. However, despite all that success, she feels unfulfilled and disconnected from herself. She's stuck in a cycle of constantly comparing herself to others, feeling like she's not enough, and seeking validation from external sources. One day, while scrolling through social media, she comes across How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Yourself by Nicole LePera. As she reads the book, she learns about the importance of self-awareness and how it can transform our lives. Nicole explains that self-awareness is the foundation of all healing and growth. It's the ability to look within ourselves, identify our patterns, and develop a deep understanding and acceptance of ourselves. Through self-awareness, we can break free from the destructive patterns that keep us stuck and start living a more fulfilling and authentic life. Samantha learns about the different practices that can help her develop self-awareness, like journaling, meditation, and therapy. She starts to incorporate these practices into her daily routine and soon starts to see a shift in her perspective. She starts to become more conscious of her thoughts and how they impact her emotions and behavior. As she becomes more self-aware, Samantha starts to see patterns in her behavior that were previously unconscious. She realizes that her constant need for validation comes from a deep-seated fear of not being enough. She begins to address this fear, and with time, she develops a healthier relationship with herself. This part of How to Do the Work is how Nicole emphasizes the power of consciousness and self-awareness. She shows how these practices can help us not only heal from our past traumas, but also transform our lives in the present. Samantha finishes the book feeling inspired and empowered to take control of her life. She's learned that the key to happiness and fulfillment lies within herself, and with self-awareness and consciousness, she can achieve anything she sets her mind to. The healing power of forgiveness. As Emily flips through the pages of How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Yourself by Nicole LePera, she comes across a chapter on forgiveness. She pauses for a moment, wondering if she's ready to confront the pain and resentment that has been building up inside of her for years. Emily has been holding on to a grudge against her father for years. He abandoned her family when she was just a child, leaving them to fend for themselves. She's carried this deep pain and resentment with her for years, feeling like she can never forgive him for what he's done. But as she reads Nicole's words on the healing power of forgiveness, she begins to see things differently. She recognizes that holding on to this anger and pain is only hurting herself and keeping her tethered to the past. Nicole explains that forgiveness isn't about letting go of responsibility or excusing someone's actions. Instead, it's about acknowledging the pain and hurt that someone has caused us and choosing to release the anger and resentment we've been carrying. Emily starts to work through her feelings of pain and anger, using journaling and meditation to confront her emotions. Through this process, she realizes that forgiveness is not only cathartic but also incredibly empowering. As she works through the forgiveness process, Emily starts to feel lighter and more at peace. She starts to see how her pain and resentment have been holding her back and keeping her from truly moving forward. And while forgiving her father isn't easy, she knows that it's a necessary step towards healing and growth. This part of How to Do the Work is how Nicole emphasizes the strength and courage that it takes to forgive. She acknowledges that it's not an easy process, but it's an essential one if we want to heal from our past traumas and move forward. Emily finishes the book feeling liberated and empowered. She knows that forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a process that requires time and patience. And while she still has a long way to go, she's grateful for the tools and guidance that How to Do the Work has provided her on her journey towards healing and growth. Reframing Negative Thoughts. As Lisa reads How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Yourself by Nicole LePera, she realizes how negative self-talk has been holding her back. She's always been her harshest critic, and it's caused her to doubt herself and feel like she's not good enough. Nicole explains how negative self-talk can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we constantly tell ourselves that we're not capable of something, we're more likely to believe it and act accordingly. But the opposite is also true. If we reframe our negative thoughts and engage in positive self-talk, we're more likely to achieve our goals and live a fulfilling life. With this newfound realization, Lisa starts to reframe her negative thoughts. Instead of telling herself that she's not good enough, she starts to affirm her abilities and strengths. She tells herself that she's capable of achieving whatever she sets her mind to. At first, it feels uncomfortable and unnatural, but as she continues to practice positive self-talk, it starts to become second nature. She starts to feel more confident in herself and her abilities. As she grows more comfortable with positive self-talk, Lisa notices how it's affecting her life in other areas. She's not only achieving her goals, but she's also developing more meaningful relationships with others. She's no longer being held back by her negative self-talk and is free to pursue her passions and dreams. By reframing our negative thoughts and engaging in positive self-talk, we can transform the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Lisa finishes reading the book feeling empowered and inspired to continue practicing positive self-talk. She knows that it's not a quick fix, but a lifelong habit that requires constant practice and attention. With this new tool in her arsenal, she's confident that she can achieve anything she sets her mind to. Summary from the book How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create Yourself by Nicole LePera. We can learn various things, including 1. The importance of self-awareness and how it can lead to healing and growth. 2. How to recognize our patterns and explore the root causes of our behaviors. 3. How to set boundaries and take control of our lives and relationships. 4. The power of forgiveness and how it can release us from the pain and resentment we hold on to. 5. The role of positive self-talk in changing our self-perception and achieving our goals. 6. Techniques for self-care, including meditation, journaling, and therapy. Overall, the book emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our lives and working towards healing and growth. By recognizing our patterns, setting boundaries, and engaging in practices that promote self-awareness and self-care, we can create a more fulfilling and authentic life.